Hey guys, how are all my hair comrades today? I hope you're all healthy, wealthy, and wise. Rick Douglas here, your high-level man talking all things hair systems. I have a title for today's video, and it's this: don't fix it if it isn't broken. What am I talking about? Stay tuned, I will be right back and we will dig into it. There you are. Okay, so don't fix it if it isn't broken. I bet I've said that 100 times. But today I am having a change of heart because I'm going to fix something that isn't broken. Now, what I am referencing is, you guys know how I am. I tend to be one that I'm pretty dedicated to things. I buy my gas locally at the same gas station every time. I go to the same grocery store every time. I tend to be, if I find someone to do a service for me, I tend to be committed to that person and dedicated. If I find something that I like, then I tend to stick with it. Speaking of stick, there's a little glue still left on the back of this unit. I took off my head. So that's just kind of how I am. So why do I want to fix something today that isn't broken? You know how I am, HD111, dedicated to the core, to HD111. Why? Because it doesn't disappoint me. HD111 has never let me down. Has been my go-to, and there is no telling how many HD111 hair systems that Super Hair Pieces has sold, because I scream about it so much, and it's true, I do. But today, I'm gonna fix that HD111 that isn't broken. How am I gonna go about that? Enter, that's nice, isn't it? Enter M101V. Whenever I was told about this unit, I'm going, wait a minute, no, I buy my gas at the same place every day, every week. No, I go to the same grocery store. No, there's nothing broken about the HD111. But after a little conversation, I decided, okay, I'm gonna try this M101V. And it came to me in the mail. I took it out in the box and I looked at it and it was like, just who do you think you are? That's really pretty much what I did. So I cut it to fit my template, and I, was going to give it a chance. I'm going to give it a chance. So things that made me concerned is that I knew that it was a thicker base. HD111 is 4 to 5 mils. It's either 3 to 4, 4 to 5, something like that. This is 6 mils. The M101V is 6 mils. And just at first thought, that doesn't sound like much of an increase, and how could that possibly make much of a difference? Well, let me just say this to you, it does. So I stuck the M1, whatever this was, oh my Lord have mercy, hold on just a minute. There's too many model numbers and I can get confused pretty easily. Hold on. M101V. M101V. So the base is 6 mils, and so what that does, as opposed to the HD111 being disposable, you know what I've said, the HD111, and they say, okay, here you go, but the word disposable means this, but please be careful. In other words, don't do what Rick does and get it off all the way back to here, and it's stuck to your bio hair somehow, and you just go and pull a big chunk of the poly off of the back. Don't do that. Be careful. So this 6 mils means we've got a little more durability here with, looks like one of the Beatles. So that's a positive. But what am I going to have to give up for that? Am I going to have to give up this beautiful hairline? This is HD111 that I have on my head. Yep, I know. This beautiful hairline that I have in place of more durability, which I don't have complaints about durability. It isn't broken. So I got it on my head and I go, okay, well, no, hairline's awesome. As a matter of fact, hairline is as perfect as the HD111. And I do believe I like the increase in density. This is 100% density throughout with 110% across the front hairline. So that's a little more dense than the HD111. And I still have really thick bio hair. And so I can handle a more densely populated system. And so I wore it, and it was of course manageable. You know, had some body in it, so I could do something with it, all of that. And after I wore it for, 5 days or so, I thought, well, okay. So I took it off, put the HD111 back on, wore it for 5 days, was happy as just a little lark. 5 days, took the HD111 on, put the M101V on, and after doing that a few times, I realized this baby really is more durable. It is not going to rip. The poly's going to hold up better because of the increase in the thickness of that. It didn't feel any different on my head than the HD111. And so there were some positives there. And so it's kind of like, let's add something to that HD111 to where instead of us saying, okay, here's the HD111 Rick, but please be careful. Here's the M101V Rick, and be careful. You see what I'm saying? It just took that up a notch. I didn't sacrifice the natural look. I didn't sacrifice anything. As a matter of fact, what I gained in the M101V is the durability and density. And so that was a plus for me. So I don't know if I am going to dare say this out loud, because it almost makes me feel like I'm speaking against the HD111. But here goes anyway. HD111, I love you. I will always love you. I will always love you, yes. Oh, that's too much, wasn't it? Yeah, but M101V, let's go on a date. Really think I'm digging this. So there you have it, my simple opinion. And I hope that will help you if you are wrestling with a decision on what unit to make. I had a client in my chair. As a matter of fact, this is Mike, y'all. And first time client. So he came in for the consultation and we did that, and I made the template, and we started discussing his lifestyle, his demands, his budget, what he wanted to spend, how long he wanted this thing to last or needed this thing to last, and made all those decisions. And so it came down to door number 1, door number 2, door number 3. And so his wife was with him, and they had the discussion and kind of an ongoing debate. And of course they don't know. They don't know. They don't have a lick of experience. And so finally I just said, would you like for me just to tell you what to do? And they said, yes, 100%, please tell us. I said, okay. And all the things we've discussed, you know what Ricky Boy here said? M101V, M101V. As a matter of fact, I recommended that he order 2 of them, which he did, so that he has the ease of maintenance, which that creates a whole different world if you have 2 of them. And so they've come in, I've done the basic cut in on the first one, and I'll put it on his head, and then we'll do the rest of it and polish it up and make it perfect. And so I'm excited for him. But yeah, it was the M101V. So hey, Super Hair Pieces, thank you for all that you do and for all that you have done for us guys who are wanting when it comes to the roof of our house here. I am so happy and so glad to have hair on my head. Very seldom do I go anywhere, whether it's the gas station, the grocery store, the department store, to work, to a restaurant. I mean, never, ever, ever do I go that I don't get several compliments on my hair. And so because I'm kind of in the business, I will tell them straight up, well, you know, it's glued on. Because when I say I don't care about people knowing, quite obviously with all of this, I really don't care. And I would encourage one that if you're considering this, you don't care either. Just, man, do this, you know, own this baby. And so what makes it work is the fact that it looks so fantastic. But the point is, always, 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 compliment after compliment after compliment. As a matter of fact, it's kind of become a running joke with my very gorgeous redheaded wife. We'll be out at the mall walking around or whatever, and somebody will say something, then someone else will say something, and so I'll start saying, that was 4, that was 7, and she just rolls her eyes and say, would you please shut up? So I can't help it, you know, I'm just hot, people notice, I mean, what can I tell? Yeah, she'll die when she sees this video. Anyway, guys, so I hope that helps you a little bit. There's a lot of joy in the journey, or there can be. There can be a lot of joy in living, or there can be. There can be a lot of peace in the journey, or there can be. And there can be a lot of peace in living if we choose it to be that. Is life ever perfect? Heck no. Good Lord have mercy. Have I had my share of trauma? And I'm not kidding, trauma. If you want to know about trauma on the High Level Man here, go to Amazon and look up the High Level Man. Look up Silent Cries on Railroad Ties, author R.J. Douglas. That's Rick Douglas. My middle name is Joe. Now, here in Texas, when I was born, my parents, who were both raised as sharecroppers and very poor, you know, I'm the first grandchild of my grandparents, and so I'm born, and my mother was fully expecting, as she had 2 sisters, that I'm certainly going to be a girl. No way could this family have a boy. So I pop out, and I am a boy, and they don't have a name ready for me. And so the story goes that I had my mother's cousin was there in the hospital room, and they said, well, his father's name's Joe. Ricky's kind of a popular name. How about Ricky Joe? And they responded with, that'll do. So here I am, Ricky Joe. So that's R.J. Douglas, the author of the book. You'll learn more about me than you probably want to know, but it will say this to you. It will say, it doesn't matter what happens, there can be joy in your journey. It doesn't matter what you've suffered, you can have peace in your heart. So yeah, here's Ricky Joe getting emotional now. So anyway, guys, I hope this helps. And I wish I could meet every one of you that watch these videos, and each one of you that make these wonderful comments and that are willing to fly from Ohio and Washington and all over the place to get me to assist and do the cut-in. And it just makes my freaking day, and I am not kidding. So anyway, guys, it's the High Level Man here saying peace out. Let's do it. If you're on the fence about hair, get off of it. Take the dive, take the step, embrace it, and let's have a great time. All right, see you later. Bye now.